All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called A Stranger Came Home. The Unholy Four, sorry. 1954. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 stars. I thought it was disappointing. Movie poster says, "What was the shocks of the Unholy Four?" I have no idea why the U.S. title is The Unholy Four. I guess 3 men had the hots for Paulette Goddard, who played Angie. I like Paulette Goddard. Anyways, A Stranger Came Home is a 1954 British film noir directed by Terence Fisher, starring Paulette Goddard, William Sylvester, and Patrick Holt. I don't know any of these people. The film was produced by Hammer Films at Bray Studios, with sets designed by the art director J. Elder Wills. It is based on the 1946 novel Stranger at Home, which was credited to film actor George Sanders, but it was actually ghostwritten by Leigh Brackett. It was released in the United States by Lippert Pictures under the title The Unholy Four. So what Terence Fisher was doing, he was making British films that had one U.S. actor in it. Under the production of Hammer Films. And then he was doing all these film noirs, and then under Hammer. And then they would get distributed under Lippert, which used to do Westerns. I don't know what happened to Lippert after Terence Fisher started doing horror stuff for Hammer Film. I've got tons of Terence Fisher Hammer horror films on Netflix. I can go through them if you want, since I've got plenty of time on my hands today. No work, no pay, just unemployment. Ugh. This lifestyle is just not earning me money. I've got to do something tomorrow. I've got to get that Union Square hotel job, the night shift. All right. I've got Horror of Dracula in my queue. Frankenstein created woman. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. The Curse of Frankenstein I've already seen. It's great. Phantom of the Opera, Paranoiac. The Devil Rides Out. Four-Sided Triangle. The Stranglers of Bombay and the Terror of the Tongues. That's my Netflix Terence Fisher coming down the pike. 4 friends go on a fishing trip, but only 3 return after an absence of 4 years, during which time he has been an amnesiac. The 4th man, Philip Vickers, returns home after regaining his memory. He tells of a friend who knocked him out, drugged him, and left him to die. Any of the remaining men could be a suspect, as Job Crandall, Bill Saul, and Harry Bryce have all been interested in Philip's attractive women. So 4 guys are all in love with this Angie. I guess that's why it's called the Unholy Four. Anyways, unfortunately, Philip's return coincides with the murder and he becomes the main suspect. Angie joins forces with her husband to help solve the mystery, clear his name. I don't know about that. Filming occurred at Bray Studios in Berkshire. The New York Times wrote a third-rate British whodunit called The Unholy Four, featuring Paulette Goddard and a nondescript cast. A few more fly-by-nights like this. Lippert presentation, produced and written by Michael Carreras, and the still shapely Miss Goddard may find herself collecting the pieces of a career. Leonard Maltin called it muddled, whereas Alt Movie called it a suspenseful drama. 80 minutes, release date August 9th, 1954. It was also distributed by Exclusive Films in the UK. It had 11,349 admissions in France, according to Wikipedia. Yeah, so big disappointment. I saw film noir. I thought, oh, this is cool genre. I saw Terence Fisher. I thought, oh, he's a great director. I saw Hammer, and I thought, oh, it's filmed in Great Britain. Okay, it's one of those Great Britain, Terence Fisher, Hammer, Lippert thingamabobbers. Film noir. But it wasn't that great. I couldn't get into it. What did Paulette Goddard go on to do after this? She did freelance in television. Her only other film that she did after this was Time of Indifference. Everything else was television. She did Sherlock Holmes, Producer Showcase, the Errol Flynn Theater, the Joseph Cotton Show on Trial, Ford Theater, Adventures in Paradise, What's My Line, The Phantom, and the Snoop Sisters. So that pretty much ended her film career. She went on to do television. And she had already ended her radio career 2 years prior. She was born Marion Levy, June 3rd, 1910. So she must have been 44 when this came out. She looked good, 44. I was impressed. After leaving Paramount and divorcing Meredith, Goddard headlined the Mexican-American film The Torch, also serving as an associate producer. The following year, she made her television debut in an episode of Four Star Review. Her role in films such as film noir Vice Squad opposite Edward G. Robinson and the biblical character Jezebel in Sins of Jezebel failed to attract the attention of her earlier work. Her last starring film was in the film noir A Stranger Came Home in 1954, which New York Times deemed a third-rate British-made whodunit, and said a few more fly-by-nights like this Lippert presentation, and the still shapely Miss Goddard may find herself collecting the pieces of a career. That same year, Goddard guest starred as Lady Barrel on the second episode of Sherlock Holmes, starring Ronald Howard, son of Leslie Howard, as Holmes. She continued appearing in summer stock and on television, guest starring on episodes of Adventures in Paradise, the Errol Flynn Theater, the Joseph Cotton Show, the Ford Television Theater. So there you have it. The end of Paulette Goddard's film career. Directed by Terence Fisher, produced by Hammer, film noir in Great Britain, no less. That's the only interesting thing in this film. It is a whodunit. There is some guesswork as to who the killer is. That's the only really nice thing that I have to say about this movie. Everything else was just kind of dragged on and wasn't very exciting. It's kind of like, okay, somebody got bopped over the head. He's got amnesia for 4 years and he comes back. And he thinks his friends killed him, but he just wants to live a normal life with his wife. He thinks his friends tried to kill him, but he just wants a normal time with his wife. Then somebody else gets bopped over the head. Then the Secretary of the State gets killed. And trying to figure out who done it. They don't reveal the killer until the very end, last 10 minutes or so. It was all right. It wasn't terrible. But I can't say that I liked it. Anyways, let's go down my list. That was a disappointment, but not as big of a disappointment as The Bigamist, though. That one was a really big disappointment. Wow, I went all the way down my list. I didn't realize how far down I went. Let's try this again. Here we go. All right. All right, here we are. Triple Cross is coming up 1966. Hold Me While I'm Naked, 1968. Head, 1968. 1990, The Bronx Warriors, 1982. And Exterminators of the Year 3000, 1983. That's my full list. No sign of Karate Man in the chat room. It's only 1 o'clock. Where was Karate Man yesterday? I guess he was too busy to comment or chat on my videos yesterday. Not that any of them were super exciting. But I did get Jeff Jaffe and Adrian to comment on the giant Gila monster review. I kept calling it Gila monster, but it's Gila monster. All right. Well, maybe I'll take a little nappy poo before I watch Triple Cross. Thanks for checking out my videos. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope tomorrow my Robinhood kicks in another $1,000, and then the next day another $1,000, so I can get it up over 10,000 before I have to pay my bills. Laters.